Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're doing well. Today I've got for you 10 different fragrances that'll have you smelling like the man. These are fragrances that are gonna get you compliments. They're extremely versatile. They're classy. They're gonna do your taxes for you. They might help you pick winning numbers for the lottery. They can do it all. Some of these are niche, some of these are designer. Let's get started with Colonia Asza from Acqua di Parma. Acqua di Parma is a great niche house for people to jump into that are just starting to get into niche fragrances because they do have that versatility across their range and most of them are pretty affordable, assuming that you shop at discounters. This one has neroli, bergamot, grapefruit, petitgrain, musk, and more. And it's done in kind of a classic Italian style cologne. So it has that classy edge to it from the opening into the dry down. If you're a much younger guy, it probably won't appeal to you quite as much, but it's a perfect fragrance to wear to the office, casually, or formally. And for this type of fragrance, has pretty good performance as well, starting off strong with Acqua di Parma Colonia Asza. Going back to this one, I mentioned it's cheaper if you shop at discounters. That's true for pretty much everything. If you shop at discounters, it's gonna cost less. But if you shop at JOMASHOP, Fragflex, Perfume Box, or any of these other discounters or websites, here are some codes you can use to save even more money by taking a percentage or dollar amount off of your order. The JOMASHOP codes only work through the JOMASHOP app, so keep that in mind. You have to download the little app, which is essentially the exact same as their website, so yeah. Let's keep it moving with Bulgari Man in Black Parfum. So this one has iris, benzoin, woods, and spices, and you could essentially think of this as a classier take on the original Man in Black, which the original Man in Black smells similar to Spice Bomb by Viktor and Rolf. I feel like it's, what is it, 7 shades of Kevin Bacon or whatever, 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon, not shades. So this has that spiciness from the original Man in Black, a little bit of sweetness, but it's not as aggressive. It doesn't really come out as strongly. It's smoother. That iris adds a creamy undertone to the fragrance as well. The one drawback for this one, for some people, is gonna be the performance because it's not as strong as the original Man in Black. It's not as strong as Spice Bomb. So if you were expecting this to be a parfum that, you know, ramps everything up to 11, that's not what this is. This is that type of parfum that makes the fragrance more elegant, a little more sophisticated while keeping the original DNA intact. That's what this does. Let's talk another parfum, Scandal Le Parfum from Jean Paul Gaultier. Now with this line, I like all of them. There's only 3 to be fair, the original, this one, and then Absolute, but I like all of them. Absolute is the hot one right now, if you want to call it that, and I really love Absolute. It's got a great sweet aspect to it, but this one, between the two, is gonna be the classier one. No breakdown's real simple. Tonka, geranium, sandalwood. That's pretty much it. It has an aromatic scent profile to it, so it's kind of playing in the same playground as the Most Wanted and Stronger With You and stuff like that. This one is just a little bit more elegant, a little bit more mature, but it still does the same job in terms of lasting a long time, projecting well, getting you noticed, doing your taxes like I talked about. Dude, you don't want to do your taxes. Taxes suck. This does all of that, smells amazing, great for fall and winter, and gets overlooked a lot of times. The original Scandal and this one, you know, they don't get quite as much love as those other fragrances that are in this overall family style, but it's just as good. Let's go up next with the White Duke from Maresque, the Big Duke. This one at full retail, you know, it's gonna be more expensive than most of the things that we talk about here today, but a lot of times you can find this at discounters for a pretty good price. I don't know if right this minute you can. I'm gonna check. Usually you can. Watch me look right now and it's only available for like $400. I was like, ugh. Never mind. 99 bucks at JOMASHOP, 118 at Max Aroma. You can use the codes that I gave you earlier, Max Aroma, JOMASHOP, make that even cheaper. Let's see if I can find it for even less. Ooh, Fragrance Spy's got it for 147. Ooh, still, you can get it sub 100 bucks. Like I said, if you use those codes. Or JOMASHOP, it's just like right under. And that's not just for this one, that's for most of the fragrances that Maresque has. You can usually find those for a good price online if you search around a few different discounters. And a lot of them are really good actually, and I love the presentations of this line in particular. I think they look slick. Basically a stock bottle with a nice cap, but then they put a different design on each one of them, which elevates it a little bit. So this has amber, incense, benzoin, apopanax, geranium, clary sage, among other notes. You know, it's a little bit similar to Interlude from Amouage, just in how the incense comes across. It's not as aggressive as Interlude is, because Interlude off the top can not work for a lot of people. It has this dark herbaceousness to it that can just be a little off-putting. And this one does have some aromatic facets, so it's not like it's, you know, totally devoid of that. It's just a little smoother than Interlude, a little less aggressive, with a touch of like creaminess underneath. Really classy, great quality, and for a niche fragrance, good price. This next one, you probably actually can't really find for a good price. It's typically pretty expensive. It's Saffron Lazuli. This is from Carolina Herrera, and I love the presentation. Looks really cool. I like the paint on the inside of the bottle. Looks slick, has a nice magnetic cap. Good quality one. There's a lot to like about this. A lot to like, other than it's expensive. Ooh, pressurized atomizer. See, I told you. So even at discounters, this one's gonna run you probably close to $165, $170 most of the time. And admittedly, that's not like the craziest price, it's just pricier than these. It's got saffron, blackcurrant, tonka, leather, vanilla. Some of the notes in this fragrance obviously has a good amount of sweetness off the top. It's more of that saffron sweetness, slightly sugared, but really well done. As it dries down, you get more of that warm sweetness coming out from the tonka, from the vanilla. You have a tart edge to the fragrance as well from the blackcurrant. I think it's completely unisex. Ladies can pull this off as easily as men can, and it's just a really well done scent. There are a number of clone fragrances out there that you can get that are similar to this one for much less, so there are options out there. I own one from Maison Alhambra called Exclusive Saffron, which is pretty good. So if you like that one, but you don't want to pony up as much money, that's an option. If you can swing it, I'd get this. Let's go next with Lacoste Original, which has caught some flack, you know, since it came out. It's not gotten a rip-roaring reception. Part of that is gonna be because of the name. It's called Lacoste Original. Problem with that is there was already a Lacoste Original, and so a lot of people were hoping that this Lacoste Original smelled like the original Lacoste Original. But in fact, the new Lacoste Original does not smell like the original Lacoste Original, which made a lot of people upset. Which I can understand, because there are fragrances that I love, that I really, really enjoy, that are discontinued, more difficult to find nowadays. And if one of those brands brought that back, at least as far as the name and everything, and you were like, oh man, I can't believe it, and then you buy it and it's something completely different, you know, maybe I would be a little upset too. But I'm gonna just be talking about this on its own merits. You know, I'm not gonna bring anything into it from the past. The note breakdown here, pretty simple. Bergamot, clary sage, lavender, patchouli, sandalwood. You know, not a whole heck of a lot going on there. At least nothing that's gonna jump out and like take your attention right away when you look at the note breakdown, you know? If it had like guava and passion fruit and coconut water and stuff like that, you'd be like, whoa, what is this? But that's a pretty run-of-the-mill note breakdown that this one has. And the fragrance itself is not anything ground-shaking. When you smell it though, it is a few different things. It is extremely versatile. You can wear this anywhere, anytime, any place. The quality is also really nice, which is typical for Lacoste. And when I say that, you have to take into account the cost. When I say the quality is nice on Lacoste Original, I'm not saying that in comparison to like, oh, it's also really nice compared to that $1,000 fragrance over there. But this is something that ultimately, at discounters, as time goes on, you'll be able to pick up for probably, you know, 30, 35 bucks. For that price point, gets the job done, easy. And it also has a nice classiness to it, which a lot of Lacoste fragrances do, and a compliment factor as well. It's mass appealing, it's easy wearing, it's clean, it's fresh, like I said, a bit classy, and a touch of sweetness, not overdone, which can actually make this very appealing for people who maybe don't want all that vanilla that's been placed into most fragrances here lately. Maybe you want something a little different. This will give you that fresh, aromatic, ever so slightly sweet, and very clean. Let's go even classier though. Platinum Egoist from Chanel. I really love this fragrance, but I do have to say, once again, kind of like over here with Colonia Asza, probably not going to appeal as much to younger guys, so be aware of that. You know, if you're 16, 17, 18, up through like 25, probably won't like it as much. Lavender, rosemary, geranium, oak moss, neroli. Some of the notes in this one has a bit of that classic aromatic barbershop-y vibe to it. Very clean, no sweetness here. You're not gonna get that sugary sweetness, that bubblegum sweetness, none of that. Perfect perfect for an office fragrance. Great for more formal situations, especially in spring, even summer, fall. Really, really, really good stuff. And after that, we will move on to Platine Privé in the L'Homme Idol line from Guerlain. And this smells similar to L'Homme Idol cologne, which I really liked, and it was discontinued, which we talked about that already with another fragrance. But they realized the error of their way, and they said, hey, how can we bring back L'Homme Idol cologne without making it look like we're backtracking? You know, we don't want to look like we're walking it back. So they said, I got it. We'll come out with a new flanker, new name, okay? But it's gonna pretty much be L'Homme Idol cologne. We'll just do a little twist. Yeah, we'll just twist it a little bit. That'll be good. Nobody will know. That's what they did. Grapefruit, bergamot, almond, neroli, musk, vetiver. Some of the notes in here. Citrus smells great. Love it. Got a nice creamy sweetness to it. At the same time, really fresh, bright, uplifting. And it's another one, like most of these here, that has a really nice, elegant edge to it. At least as much as a sweet, citrusy almond spring and summertime fragrance can. The vetiver in the base helps with that. Now we're gonna switch gears, go with something different, something completely different. 212 VIP Black from Herrera. So actually we got two Herreras in here. Somehow I didn't realize that until just now. But they're very different. One way they're not different, they both have magnetic caps. All these fragrances here, only two have magnetic caps, both of them from Herrera. Good job, Herrera. Nice. So this one, you know, I was just talking about all that vanilla. They don't have vanilla, vanilla, vanilla. This one does. It's also got lavender, anise, musk, and absinthe, which is interesting. But it's a very fizzy vanilla. It's not like a really deep, hyper sweet, you know, syrupy kind of vanilla. The lavender adds a nice masculine facet to the fragrance. It's not super far removed from the way that lavender is used in like Legend or Fierce. Not that this smells like Fierce or Legend necessarily, but the way the lavender comes across is kind of in the same wheelhouse. And even though this is called 212 VIP Black, and you would think it's like just a mega clubbing fragrance and that's it, it's actually got good versatility to it. You can use this a lot of different places. Just don't go crazy heavy with the trigger and it'll come across really nicely. And we will wrap it up with Stronger With You Leather. Chestnut, vanilla, leather, spices, and woods. Pretty simple note breakdown overall here. I did say leather, right? Because I mean, that's in the name. That is one of the best in the Stronger With You line. And I think that that's the one that, to me anyway, has gotten better with time. So like the more I come back and smell Stronger With You leather, the more that I just subconsciously or maybe consciously bump it up in my head, like in the hierarchy of Stronger With You fragrances. It was good when it came out. I thought it was really good, but yeah, the more I smell it, it's like there starts to be a gulf between some of the other Stronger With Yous and this one. It's really good. It doesn't get rid of that gourmand edge that Stronger With You has, that chestnut, you know, it elevates it. The leather is not animalic, so it doesn't distract or detract from the sweetness here. The performance is banging. It'll get you noticed. It'll get you compliments. Great date night fragrance. Just don't go insanely heavy. Really nice night out fragrance, or just when it's cold outside, and I'm talking pretty cold, a great everyday fragrance. Really good. So there we go. There are fragrances that'll have you smelling fantastic. Some of these are more of the, you know, office, daytime variety. Some of them are more of an evening type scent profile, but all of these get the job done. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.